strength is not about avoiding pain. It's about confronting it, acknowledging it, and deciding to walk through it. Many of us are conditioned to believe that being strong means never showing vulnerability, never admitting when something hurts, and never faltering in the face of challenges. But that belief is flawed. Real strength comes from the ability to sit with discomfort, to face the rawness of pain head-on, and to understand that it is an integral part of growth. The most profound lessons in life don't come from moments of ease. They come from the trials that test us and stretch us beyond what we thought possible. Pain shapes us, forcing us to reevaluate who we are, what we value, and what we're capable of. Avoiding pain may offer temporary relief, but it leads to stagnation, dulling our emotional edges, and hindering the growth that could come from facing our challenges directly. By numbing or ignoring pain, we miss the opportunity to learn from it. Pain is often the catalyst for transformation. It compels introspection, forcing us to look at our wounds and decide how we want to heal. Facing pain requires vulnerability, the willingness to be uncomfortable, and the courage to embrace uncertainty. By doing so, we discover a resilience within us we never imagined. We develop emotional endurance, a deeper capacity for empathy, and a greater sense of self-awareness. Letting go of the familiar is one of the most challenging yet transformative steps in our journey. As humans, we naturally seek comfort, safety, and predictability. We cling to what we know, the routines, the people, and the places that make us feel secure. But true growth requires stepping into the unknown, releasing our grip on the past, and trusting in the possibilities ahead. Growth rarely happens in the familiar. It asks us to take risks, to walk away from things that once felt right but no longer align with who we are becoming. Letting go isn't about abandoning everything or starting from scratch. It's about recognizing when something has reached its natural conclusion, when a chapter needs to close so a new one can begin. This process is often accompanied by grief, discomfort, and loss. We mourn the familiar, even when we know it's time to move on. But within that mourning is the seed of something new, something that will lead to growth if we allow it. This isn't just about physical changes like moving to a new city or switching careers. It's about internal shifts, letting go of old beliefs, outdated narratives, and limiting self-concepts. Growth requires space, the freedom to explore, to make mistakes, and the courage to try again. Letting go of the familiar is how we create that space, signaling to the universe that we are ready for more. Letting go is an act of faith. It's a declaration that we trust the process of life, believe in our ability to navigate uncertainty, and are willing to trade comfort for the promise of something greater. Staying where we are might be easy, but if we truly want to grow, it's no longer an option. Growth demands that we step outside our comfort zones. The familiar is seductive because it requires no risk, allowing us to stay as we are. But the price of staying in the familiar is greater than the temporary discomfort of change. When we cling too tightly to the past, we limit our potential. Moving on is about reclaiming our power, saying, "I deserve better." Often we fear moving on because it feels like abandonment of something or someone we care about. But moving on doesn't mean forgetting. It means understanding that the past no longer has the right to define our future. It's about carrying lessons forward without carrying the weight. Moving on liberates us, allowing us to step into new chapters of our lives with clarity and intention. Healing is a process, one that demands time, patience, and grace. Yet we live in a world that glorifies quick fixes and instant results. We're often expected to bounce back immediately after pain or trauma, but real healing doesn't work that way. It's not linear or predictable. It's messy, and it requires that we offer ourselves compassion. Grace is essential during this time. It allows us to acknowledge that healing doesn't follow a set timeline and that it's okay to take as long as needed. Healing is not about pretending everything is okay. It's about allowing yourself to feel whatever arises. Grace also means forgiving ourselves for not being over it yet and giving ourselves the space to process our emotions without judgment. However, moving on doesn't mean suppressing or ignoring emotions. It doesn't require you to be strong all the time or pretend that the pain doesn't exist. Instead, it's about processing feelings in a healthy way, acknowledging the hurt, loss, and disappointment, but not allowing those emotions to consume you. It's about giving yourself space to grieve without getting lost in that grief. Moving on means feeling sadness without being defined by it. It allows moments of reflection without becoming stuck in them. It's a balance between honoring the past and embracing the future. Moving on is a process, not a one-time decision. It's something you do day by day, moment by moment, as you make choices that align with your future rather than your past. It involves releasing control, stopping the attempts to change what's already happened, and focusing instead on what you can do moving forward. Moving on also means letting go of the need for closure, accepting that you may never get the answers or resolution you're seeking. And that's okay. It's about understanding that some things are beyond your control and finding peace in that acceptance. In moving on, you also grant yourself permission to heal, allowing yourself the freedom to move through your emotions and find closure within, instead of relying on external sources. You give yourself the gift of resilience, the ability to bounce back stronger, wiser, and more compassionate toward yourself. Moving on is about building inner strength, the kind that says, I can handle whatever comes my way because I've survived what came before. Ultimately, moving on is reclaiming your life. It's about stepping out of the shadow of your past and into the light of your future. While the past may have shaped you, it doesn't have to define you. Moving on is about choosing to live fully in the present, embracing the opportunities and experiences available to you right now, instead of staying stuck in a moment that has already passed. Your best days are not behind you. They are ahead, waiting for you to step into them with open arms. To continue to view more of these videos, kindly subscribe, like, comment, and share this video by clicking on the subscription button. Moving on is also an act of forgiveness, of others and of yourself. It's about releasing anger, resentment, and bitterness, choosing to let go of heavy emotions that no longer serve you. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning what happened or forgetting it. It's about freeing yourself from the burden of carrying that pain. It's about realizing that holding on to hurt only harms you, and that the best way to honor your healing is to release it. In moving on, you extend grace to yourself and others, understanding that we are all imperfect. Holding on to grudges only keeps you anchored in the past. By moving on, you create space for new opportunities, relationships, and experiences. When you're clinging to the past, you aren't fully open to what the present has to offer. Moving on allows you to be present, to engage with life as it is right now, and to welcome new possibilities each day. Moving on is a journey that requires patience, self-compassion, and a willingness to let go of what no longer serves you. It's about recognizing that holding on to the past keeps you stuck, while letting go frees you to move forward. It's about choosing to focus on your growth, happiness, and future, rather than being weighed down by what has already happened. True strength is often misunderstood as holding on tightly, refusing to let go, or enduring something at all costs. But real strength lies in releasing the past, the hurt, and the expectations that no longer align with who you are becoming. Releasing is not a sign of weakness. It's an act of courage. It takes immense emotional maturity to recognize that holding on often does more harm than good, and that clinging to something out of fear or habit can stunt your growth. Releasing brings freedom and peace, knowing that you are no longer bound by the limitations of your past. It's a practice of trusting life's process, of trusting that what is meant for you will not pass you by. By letting go, you create space for something more beautiful to unfold. There is no greater act of self-love than releasing what no longer serves you. It's setting boundaries with the past and choosing your peace, joy, and well-being. Ultimately, moving on and releasing are about reclaiming your power. They are acts of strength and courage, of honoring yourself, and creating space for the life you truly deserve. Moving on is not an overnight process. It is a journey of self-discovery, growth, and healing. It requires vulnerability, strength, and patience. By facing your pain, letting go of the familiar, and releasing the past, you open yourself up to new possibilities and deeper emotional freedom. Each step forward is a testament to your resilience and your commitment to living fully in the present. In conclusion, remember, moving on is not about forgetting or erasing your past. It's about transforming your pain into wisdom, your scars into strength, and your losses into opportunities for growth. By embracing the act of moving on, you reclaim your power and create space for the future you deserve, filled with hope, healing, and possibility. Do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you.